Welcome to Circle Back to Sunday here at Victory Hill. We are so excited that you're here to join us as we circle back and dive deep into the message from Sunday's sermon. You are going to get to meet some of our pastoral team on an intimate level, as well as other members here at Victory Hill as we circle back to Sunday's sermon.
All right, welcome back. Circle back to Sunday. So glad that you are listening, viewing. Hit that subscribe button.
That's right.
Hit a like. Give us a like. Share it with a friend. We're so glad that you are with us today, wherever you're watching or listening from today. My name's Mason, and I'm with some great friends of mine. Number one, we got the Amy Payne in the house.
And he said number one. I mean, when you said number one, I knew it was Amy.
It's hard. It's hard not to. You got to acknowledge when greatness is in the room.
That's right.
Gabe. And
That's right.
Amy Payne's the best. She's an author, preacher, scholar. I mean, all around great person. Best friend,
likable.
funny. She won't tell us who her best friend is. She just leaves us all guessing. But and I got G Money, Gabe
right.
Graves,
Yeah.
the Gabe Graves with us. Realtor, entrepreneur. Sounds like a business podcast. Preacher, he's on our teaching team. But we're here to kind of circle back to this past week's message with Pastor Trey T-Hug, Trey Harper, underrated gangster, as I like to call him. Bringing the word, closing out our Unstoppable series, y'all. April's over.
Yeah.
Wow.
April's done.
But get ready for
In
May.
the words
Oh,
of
smokes.
Justin Timberlake, it's going to be May.
I love it.
Get it?
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm going to get made fun
I
of
get
for
it.
that.
Yes,
and
you
that's
are.
okay.
That's
I'm
all right.
owning it.
That's
I like it.
May is
I
here,
love a
but
good pun.
our boy Trey, closing out the sermon series, did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, such a good message.
Gabe and I are on the teaching team, so we get a little bit of a sneak peek
Preview.
of the message. And when I looked it over, I was like, bro,
I know. I said you can go anywhere with this,
So
go
bro.
ahead. There's too. Sometimes it's like that's too good.
Too
Like,
good.
You could get a lot of our
Sit
issues.
down.
Always like we could do like two. We could do like two or three sermons out of this,
That's it.
and it happens. But he did so good today. He was in Acts chapter 1, verse 3. I love how he kind of went from, we celebrated Resurrection Sunday. What a great Easter, by the way.
Oh, man.
Amazing
Can
Easter.
we talk about that just for a moment?
Ain't nobody telling us we can't.
That's right.
That's right.
Who they going to call, Amy? Who are they going to call? Me?
1,776 people.
America.
Crazy.
As Pastor Trey said.
Yeah.
America.
right.
Freedom.
25 salvations.
I mean,
Wow.
come on.
5 baptisms.
5 baptists and
Crazy.
we're
3
feeling.
of those were spontaneous.
I know. That was one of those
So
things we
fun.
talked about. It was
Yeah.
like, let's do it.
We
Let's
really
try
hope
it.
somebody signs up.
Please, dear Lord, please. Which was awesome. The one of them that I can't remember. You baptized her. What was her name again?
Why you put me on spot
Sorry.
like that? Yeah.
Our friend that we baptized. We'll have it. Cody edit that out. Our friend that we baptized Sunday. You got to baptize her in the third service.
I did.
And my mom said like she was ready
Yeah.
because my mom works the blue tent. Said she was ready to go, ready to be baptized. Yes, I believe. Like just an awesome
was.
story.
So I did not get the honor of meeting her until about 5 minutes.
Yeah, like, hey,
before-
my name's
yeah.
Amy.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And I walked up on this young lady, and she was oozing Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was always try to have a quick conversation, just confirm their faith, and we were getting ready to go live, and she looked at me with the just most sincere, heartfelt, I'm all in smile, and she said, "I'm so ready."
That's awesome.
And I'm like, "Oh, honey, you've got to stop. Like, I've got to talk.
right.
We got to get through this. You're gonna
To you love Jesus with all of your heart.
yeah, I was like, oh. It was awesome.
That's
That was
hilarious.
just a great day, and something
Yeah.
we talked about in staff meeting, and we didn't really talk about today, but like the buy-in from our church was amazing.
It was.
And I just want to take a moment, just as the executive pastor, thank you to our church and all of you that I hope are listening to this. Just our services were spread out evenly. We could handle everything. We had more this year than we had last year. We had around 1,730 last year, and you felt the pressure of it last year.
Yeah.
This year, everything was so smooth. Our teams did amazing, and it was awesome. But Pastor Chad closing out or hitting us up on Resurrection Sunday, and I love where Trey's landing in the book of Acts at the beginning, right after the resurrection, and telling us about this sermon called Worth the Wait. And convicting, exciting, all of the things. I think he did an amazing job today. But like, what's your main takeaways? Like, what's the big thing that stuck out to you that you're going to circle back to this week?
I mean, there was a lot of good stuff. I'll let Amy go if you got something. I've got 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Gabe's got too many. He's trying to pick one.
He's going to narrow it down while I talk about my one biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
So, honestly, that, he was talking about the wait. Like, I'm a results-driven person, and I want what I want now. I kind of want those instant results. And so waiting is hard for me.
Yeah.
And especially when I think I've heard or I know or I've seen. And just the takeaway for me today is waiting is just it's not passive.
Yeah.
It's an active action. Like,
Yeah.
I always kind of think, well, waiting, I'm not doing anything. If I'm just waiting, nothing's happening. I'm just waiting. It's so passive. But today in his message, it just really drove home that the waiting that he's talking about, like when we're waiting on the Lord, it's an active, an active wait. It's a hope for. It's to wait for. It's it's.
I think when we was talking about that today, I'm the same way. I'm more like he was talking about, God, dude, you, like, I know this is just what you're going to do. Like, I know it because I know, right? Because that's what we just know. God, I know you're going to do it. Just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it. But when you were talking about that being active, waiting on God is actually walking in his timing.
Yeah.
Like, we may think you need to hurry up and do this. He's like, I'm on my own time. Like this is moving how I want it to. But it's not passive.
Yeah. And it kind of, I like bouncing off of that was when he was talking about not wasting the waiting time. I think a lot of the times, I would say in the past especially, because I've picked up on this just through having to pick up on it in life. Right. But like there's value in the waiting time. Yeah. God's got value in the waiting time. He's got value in the harvest time. He's got value in all of it. Yes. And so like instead of I'm just going to wait and look forward to what he's got coming. Like, I want to see what he's got in this moment, in this waiting time, and just knowing that there's value there. That was one of the things that stood out to me the most.
Even thinking about that, this saying the message was convicting. Like, we got to look through Trey's notes because we all try to get feedback from each of the other team members before we preach, and I read through it quick because I don't want to read through all of it. Because I want to get from the message. And I was listening to a message this morning. It was talking about walking through the wilderness, and in this, and kind of getting hit twice with the waiting piece, and thinking about one way we don't waste the wait is asking the question, God, what's the lesson you're wanting to give me from this season? Because until I learn the lesson, I'm going to stay in where I'm at. So we want to rush God. We want to say, God, I want you to do this. God, why haven't you done this? Like, I know this is going to happen. I know you're going to move in this. I know I can feel it. I can see it, but I'm still waiting. I love how he said the better question we have to ask is, God, what are you teaching me right now? What's the lesson that you want me to learn? What do I need to pick up in this season that I need for the next season? Yeah. Like, what is it? And when he brought in Psalms 23, and he starts talking, I wrote it down. It said that green pastures precede no fear in darkest valleys.
Yep, that's right.
Like, sometimes you're waiting and resting because of what you're going into. And you have to really not let that waiting time be a wasting time for you. And just for him to hear that or to say that today, I could just picture moments in my own life where, like, okay, this is where I've tried to rush God or get him to move on my timetable, and if it did, it wouldn't have worked out right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like too how he said that, you know, our waiting is a period of pause, and it in that waiting brings us clarity.
Yeah.
It brings us direction. And he talked about crawdad hunting and picking up
Yeah.
a rock, and like I couldn't really relate to that. I don't really dig, you know, getting out and getting in muddy water
one of
looking
them
for
city
crawdad.
kids.
It's one of them. Yeah, I was one of them city kids. But you know,
That married probably one of the most outdoorsy gentlemen I've ever
is
met in my
cornbread.
life.
Yeah, my grandkids do it, and they bring them home, and now we cook them. But just another.
Is that the mud bugs?
The mud bugs,
That's it.
Yeah. But just that, you know, letting the dust settle,
Yeah.
so to speak, just so you can see,
Yeah.
you know, and I thought about how many times in life, you know, I even give other people that advice. Take a minute, let's calm down. Told somebody the other day that had kind of had a falling out with somebody, and they were texting back and forth, and I was like, well, you know, if you know you're going to struggle with the way you respond, just take your phone, put it in a drawer for 30 minutes, and then go back to it.
Yeah,
See if you'll type the same thing. See if you'll respond the same way. And it's just kind of the same thing, but on a bigger level. You know, sometimes God has us wait, so, you know, there can be some clarity. We can regroup.
Yeah. I think something, too, that I picked up from that, when he said that waiting provides clarity. And I think that happens in big decisions. It happens in little decisions, too. Because I had a conversation with somebody, too, that there was an issue, and it was wait. Stop, take a deep breath, and wait. Because something I've realized in my own life is that my first reaction is usually wrong. Because I know.
Wrong?
Because I have some great accountability partners in my life that I didn't ask for, but I have been provided through the Lord, and I will have a reaction in what I think is a safe space, and it's like, no, you need to calm down. You need to wait for you can call somebody. You need to wait before you talk to them about that. There's one of them's in the room. There's 3 ladies on our staff, not including my wife. She's not on staff, but yeah, I feel like the clarity part for me spoke because I can clarify not only the decision, but my motives, my emotions. It gives that a moment for that to calm down. And something I've realized in my leadership is that I don't have to answer that right now.
Yeah.
Like, there may be pressure, there may be a push to get something done, a decision done. If I feel rushed, I don't have to do anything right now that I don't want to do. Because I know if I'll take a moment and take time, even if it's just to take a breath, I can just really think about it. Then I can really clarify, okay, well, I was mad about that, but really I was mad about that.
That's right.
And I'm taking it out on this situation. But waiting in a moment, waiting to send that text, waiting to make that phone call, getting into a better headspace. I remember something I was mad about. I waited 3 days till I dealt with it. And the thing I had to deal with, the person I was talking to was like, man, he very calmly, very lovingly, like I understood. And it was like, you know, that's okay. Thank God. That was God. That's why, because it's not, because we want to hit it on the front end, just get it out of the way, and sometimes there's need for that. But I feel like there's a lot of time there's that clarity in the wait. Yeah. And it's worth it sometimes to just wait, take a breath, really think through it before we jump and move. Yeah. We jump into the Easter basket.
So we had a situation at home this week that this really, like, we got to walk this out.
Illuminated.
Well. And so, like, one of my kids, super talented in everything, something didn't work out the way, I'll just say because I've only got one daughter. So it didn't work out how she wanted it to work out. Right. And in the moment, I was pretty aggravated for her, not at her, for her. And I had to, like, take a minute. Like, I had to know, all right, I need to just wait. Yeah. And then I had to tell myself, what lesson does God have for my daughter in this
Right.
moment?
Yeah.
And so we got to talk about, which walked this out almost to the T. We got to have a conversation of like, hey, I know this didn't work out how you wanted it to or how you thought that it should, or even how you think would be fair. But this is a great opportunity at a young age to learn how to listen for the Holy Spirit and for him to say, I shut that door so another one can open,
Right.
or I want you to work harder.
Yes.
Because those are really the two options. Right. And most of the time in any decision as an adult, if something doesn't work out, we either like just say, well, forget it, or we just keep working when we're not supposed to, you know? And so I was like, this is a great opportunity. She took that advice, went to school, did that, came home. Dad, you're exactly right. I was supposed to wait, and now I'm going to do this.
That's awesome.
And I was like, that's really good. And it was cool. At the same time, I said, well, babe, also, there's nothing wrong with taking some time. Like, you can wait longer than 8 hours.
Yeah.
You know,
Take
and
a
let's
breath.
really see.
I've heard again. No, let's go.
That's right. Because sometimes we will wait, but we will wait until we come up with a better answer or a different solution. Yeah. But we really haven't waited for the Holy Spirit to guide us. We've just found a different option. Yeah. And so, like, learning how to wait long enough, not just waiting until you think of something else.
I think sometimes one thing you were just talking, like, as a parent, I'm trying to pray through, God, don't let me stop lessons you're trying to teach my kids.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I can get it. I can handle that situation.
That's right.
There's some stuff like that they'll come in and like, if you'll listen to me what I'm telling you, Darren, I can handle this for you.
Yeah.
I'm but there's a lesson in that they need to get. They need to learn. But,
yep.
But Amy, anything else? What's something like stuck out to you today?
Another thing that stuck out to me was, so sometimes God has us, when Jesus told them to wait, he told them to stay in Jerusalem and wait. He didn't just tell them to wait, he told them to stay and wait.
Yeah.
And so Trey kind of jumped in that a little bit, and God had them wait. Sometimes he has us wait. The people. So the people we should be with. Like, he had them wait because they needed to be together.
Yes.
And how many times God has us wait so we can be around the people that we need to be around. And then he even went a little bit further. He had told them where to wait.
Yeah.
And that God gives us places to be. There was purpose. That's
I think
where the purpose was found.
He said people and places deliver purpose.
That was it.
He focused on the people he wanted them to be with. Because something he talked about was like, and I've never thought about it this way. He said, had they had not stayed together and wait, they would have scattered.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, they're supposed to go into all the nations. But first, you're going to wait till you're empowered by the Holy Spirit. If hard times would have come, they would have just left without the power.
Yeah, their breaking point was extended because of the people that they were surrounded with.
So, and this may be part of my Mother's Day message that I'm working on right now, but like the place that you're planted where you're supposed to be. The people you're around is where you're supposed to be. So you've got the right people, you've got the right place. It's not that because there was a lot of pressure in Jerusalem at the time for them. But just because you felt the pressure doesn't mean they weren't in the right place. They were around the right people, and the people in place that God had set aside for them, that delivered their purpose, which was to be a witness, which we are empowered by the Holy Spirit to be. And so to see that talk through that because he was saying that the best way to know somebody's future behavior is to look at past behavior. Because you can kind of pretty much see that's what's going to happen, because that's what they did. But he said, y'all need to stay together. They were in the upper room. And something that I picked up on in the second service, it removed distractions.
Yeah.
How many times in the waiting seasons of our life, I don't know if y'all have ever been here, but the most wasteful of waiting seasons is following after the distractions. That's how I waste them.
Yeah.
Is I will get distracted and not realize that God is in the waiting season removing some things from me. And y'all have like a time when you felt like you were in a waiting season, and you could see how God was using it to remove things or bringing people around you. Like, y'all have like a waiting season in your life that you could tell us about?
I think earlier in my walk with Christ, I didn't. I was just looking for the next thing. Mm-hmm. Now, every time that I'm in a waiting season, I realize it's for something. It's to help me. It's to help other people. And just like we were talking about earlier, it's just like trying to figure out and discover what that is, so that I can grow and move on from that thing. And you were talking about a minute ago, like making like little decisions along the way. Yeah. And it reminded me of like sometimes God puts you in that waiting to give you experience in making little decisions right, so that you can make the big decisions right. And it reminded me of like grew up playing baseball. I loved baseball, and one thing that you do is you hit a ball off a tee. Easy wins that are eventually going to set you up for hitting a ball 95 mile an hour. Mm-hmm. You hit the ball off the tee, then you hit wiffle ball, then you hit pitching coach ball, where it's just like it's a strike every time. Just easy wins. You're winning little things every time, and then your muscle memory you've created the right formula to be able to hit the big hits when the time comes. Right. And I think that a lot of times in the waiting, it's given us opportunities to make little decisions right, so that when the big decisions come, our muscle memory is there and ready to make the right decisions then.
That's good. That's good.
How about you, Amy?
Yeah, kind of like just to piggyback off what Gabe was saying, I can think back to, let's talk about the Dream Center, and like,
which we love.
We love, and, we're getting ready to celebrate 3 years. And I look at the things that we get to do now that we only dreamed of 3 years ago. We were praying for it, and I wanted them right then. I wanted these things to happen then. I wanted to see 100, 200 people sitting in community at the Dream Center every week. And if we'd have got it when if we'd have got it when I wanted it, I wouldn't have developed the leadership skills or the knowledge or the experience that I have now to help have some of the conversations that I have now. I wouldn't know how to handle certain situations. I would have, then if I'd have missed the target, I wouldn't even have hit the target. Now if it's just as simple as, well, let's just regroup a little bit. Let's readjust. God has given us the community that we need, the people, the right people, and the right place, by, that season of wait and building.
Something Darius Daniels said, one of my favorite preachers, he said, because he was talking about waiting seasons and preparation seasons, that God is preparing us in those moments, and I'm not as ready as I think I am. Yeah. And that's kind of a new thing. Like, I'm not as ready as I think I am. Yeah. If it hadn't happened yet, that means God's still trying to teach me something and still trying to grow something in me. And that's just really resonated today as Trey's talking about these waiting seasons and these waiting periods of our life, and something he started talking about when he was talking about the homophones, and that how the word wait and wait are they're said the same, but they have two different meanings, and that when we talk about the weight that we carry, but it's also waiting at the same time. That wait and wait are kind of the same, or trust and waiting are the same. But when he was talking about wait, something he and I talked through was that to really put our trust in God is to put our weight on Him. Is to let Him carry that. Trusting and waiting is the same thing. But then he goes on to talk about trusting and waiting will give you strength. Strength gives you capacity, while power gives you authority. That he was talking about those that wait on the Lord. And one way you can look at that, not only waiting in time, but putting their weight on, putting their faith and trust in Him. Those that wait on the Lord will renew their strength and will mount up on wings like eagles. Great verse. And he was talking about, I love how he said, that's the old covenant. The new covenant was God was going to give us power. And that he said strength gives you the ability to pick something up. Power gives you the ability to do something with it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, park and preach right there, brother Trey, brother Trey, because that's so true. Like, how many times, and if you guys got an example in life, like that times that you've had strength but not the authority to use it or the power to use it, or where's a time like God has given you the strength to pick something up and the power to use it in your own life? And I mean, really, you could go back to the Dream Center on most of that. But Gabe, what about you?
I mean, I think it's kind of a hard question to answer because a lot of that stuff goes back to business for me. Like I've walked through things and that you don't want people to know about, you know? Like the truth of the matter is what I've learned is you have to learn humility if you're going to be successful, especially in business. Because everybody wants to compare to the person on Facebook that did this or did that. And you don't ever want people to see that you didn't make the right decision or you didn't do the thing the right way. And then, so it goes for me, like there's been plenty of times in my business life and in those things where I've just simply made the wrong decision and did not do it the right way. And every time that has happened, it's gone back to not trusting what God told me to do and doing what I saw as the right decision along the way. And the thing that's crazy about that is like what you're saying in him taking that weight from you is when I think that I know the right decision, I take that weight myself because there's a lot of reward in saying I did this and I made that right decision. But what I've learned is when I take that weight off myself and say, hey, whatever the Holy Spirit tells me to do, that's the only thing that I'm going to do and put it on him. Then I find success every single time. But it takes humility to say, I don't have to have credit. People don't have to ask me for business advice. All I have to do is trust what he is trying to do through me. And when I do those things, success will follow. And so that goes back to waiting. Like you're waiting for that, you were talking about power and authority and all those things. Well, that comes when you wait. Put the weight on him, find success, and then people do come to you because now you have an authority that you didn't have before because you waited for him in those seasons.
That's good.
So,
Well, I would just say that God's purpose in your life, as Pastor Trey talked about, is worth the wait. Every bit of it, time and time again, when we've waited, done the right thing, even when we've done the wrong thing, and God still took care of us. When we wait on the Lord and we wait on him, God's purpose will always come through that because waiting brings clarity. But I want to talk about something before we leave.
all right, let's do it.
3 years of the Dream Center.
Come on.
This is going to come out Wednesday.
Yeah.
Tell us about Friday night.
So
Whenever we have Thursday, we have prayer lunch.
So Thursday,
Prayer lunch, right?
We're having a prayer
It's
lunch.
not prayer breakfast. Okay, good. Because I would have showed up at one of them and it'd been the wrong time.
And Thursday, we're having a prayer lunch, and we're actually going to have a couple of our community members at the Dream Center is going to get to share just a little bit of how the Dream Center has impacted their life. We have a member from law enforcement is going to come share the other side of that, how
awesome.
it's affected the amount of people that they, the arrest and like how they're not seeing, just the life change that they're seeing from a law enforcement standpoint. And then the best prayer ever is what I heard. He was called the best prayer ever.
If this wasn't going live or out to the world, I would share my feelings on that. Thanks, Darren.
Mason's going to just, unify us in prayers. We pray over all God is going to do and pray over our city. And then Friday. Let's talk about Friday. Friday, we get
G Money's going to be there.
That's it.
VH Worship's going to be there.
So first Friday on the square, Friday, May the 2nd, downtown Scottsville. That's their festival that they have every month on the first Friday evening. Is allowing us to walk alongside them, partner with them. We've got worship on the square. We're going to last year was the first year. It was big. It was good.
It was awesome.
I remember us shooting T-shirts from a cannon.
I do remember that.
This year, everybody gets a T-shirt.
Love it.
Yeah,
Come on.
Good T-shirt.
We're just going to celebrate all the things that God's done and all the things that we believe that we believe God's going to
Going
do.
to do.
And here's the best thing that I think I'm going to enjoy the most. Like, we've seen so many stories of God just radically changing people and using them to help reach other people.
It's awesome.
But Friday night, one of our very own DC family members is going to open us up and lead us in worship.
Oh,
I'm
that's
excited.
And I'm so
I heard about
excited
it.
for that. It's
Yeah.
going to be amazing. And I'm just so grateful for all the things that God allows us to do through that outreach. But I always go back to the very first time when I thought I was ready. And I stood in the back of the worship center with a sign-up sheet for people to come. For people to come meet me on a Sunday morning during second service for us to have a recovery group.
Yeah.
And how horribly that failed and nobody came. And how God made me wait.
Yep.
How God made me wait. And then now I get to watch families restored, marriages restored, lives restored, freedom found. Addiction broke off of people because God had me wait for what was truly important and for the right people for the right place.
Right.
And so,
The best thing I love about the Dream Center is this is only the beginning. We're going to see.
just getting started.
We're going to see in 3 more years, we're going to look back and be like, man,
Getting a shower put in.
didn't even
it's
know we
almost
could do all
done.
That's crazy.
Didn't even know we could do all that.
I know.
We're going to own the
Hashtag
block.
buy the block,
We're
baby.
going to own the block.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Well, thank you for circling back with us today. Gabe, Amy, thanks for being with me. We love you guys. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on Sunday for our new series. I'll go ahead and spoiler, tell them, Legacy.
Let's go. It's gonna be
Building
good.
a life that outlives us.
Let's
Get
go.
excited.
Come on, get excited. Love you. See you next time.